Hello and welcome to the Tachyon Mind. I'm Brandy. So, this is going to be a different type of reading. This may not resonate for everyone, and you can be the judge of that. Let me get situated here. Ugh, okay. So, what I'm getting in the energy is that for some of you guys, you certainly are going to have this upgrading of your DNA. Okay, this can happen for many different reasons, and that will be up to you on how that resonates. But if this sounds like a reading that's for you, then stay tuned. Give me a minute to shuffle the cards out. We got some pretty hefty energy shifts here, and I know most of you have already been feeling that. Um, we'll break it down, we'll go through it, and we'll discuss. So, give me a minute here to do the cards. Mars is making its appearance here. Second house of worth, what you value, how you contribute, and shifting and changing how you contribute. I feel like there's going to be some energy here of like purpose realignment. Fire straight off the board. It's interesting because I'm listening to a fireplace. Second Ace of Cups that come right out pretty quickly there. Two of Cups. Okay, we're looking at really, it's coming from the channelings that I received in the previous channeling video, which I'll link below, Death card. Ending an old way of being or releasing something here. But the effort to love is never a failure, regardless of the outcome. Okay. Some of you might have had a recent loss in your energy, possibly a parental figure, and that might be why your DNA is upgrading. Okay. Purpose realignment, like you were not doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. I feel like I need to take this death card. Okay, how to proceed would be, with love and going towards the things that you feel like is what you value most and being very logical and courageous as you do so. So I like that lineup there. That's looking pretty good. Let me finish getting these cards out, please. Okay, first card out. We've got, the Wheel of Fortune here. Interesting. Nice lineup so far with all of the shift. We got the Empress, Enchantress in my deck, my author deck. Some of you feel the need to expand out because I just kind of felt like a little bit crammed in the energy there shortly. I feel like I need just a little bit more space here. One moment, please. Ah, not surprised. What a nice lineup. And the last card is Justice. Okay, so I feel like for those of you watching this, that you might be really evaluating what worth is, what it means to you, what your worth is, what you value. I also feel like how you contribute is being looked at. Specifically severing some partnerships. Now, some of you may have dealt with a harsh, sudden ending, potentially with a parental figure here that could be changing you on a DNA cellular level here. But I feel like overall, you guys are stepping into a purpose realignment, just looking at the cards on the board here. I feel like this is a long-term stable shift, right? Some of you are working on healing some sort of like a sense of Venusian energy here. So I don't know what that is for you, but maybe you're healing like your body. Maybe you're healing like um love. Maybe you're healing something here, like maybe like Venus, right? Because I've got the Empress here, and you're learning how to work with this Empress energy in a very intuitively emotional way, as well as a very logical way, and cutting the things that don't serve you as you proceed forward, or you have a different way of thinking or a different way of communicating what it is that you need or want here. I'm feeling some Chiron and Taurus, I'm not gonna lie. So I feel like you may be working on that, and so we'll go into that because I feel like that's probably something here that we need to work on or talk about. Um, so let's talk about that. Chiron and Taurus here, healing the worth, and some of you are stepping out of a survival mode, right? Maybe you were defending yourself against a parent. I don't know why that's coming up. That may not resonate for you, but like, or an energy that had authority over you. And I feel like you're really getting to this energy where you're stepping back into your happiness, you're stepping back into your light, and you're reclaiming it. Okay. Maybe you're transmuting some negative energies, or you're transmuting some negativity here. I just felt the need to check my microphone. Everything seems to be fine. Don't know why. So maybe you are being mindful about how you speak. Okay. Speak with the light, I just heard. Maybe you're really looking at your self-worth, and you're seeing that you are worth more than you thought you were, because you have this beautiful light within you that's not replicable. Okay, you're unique in your energy and what you do. Okay, it can't be replicated. Now, for some of you, this could be healing from a survival wound of ancestry, okay, because it is coming up. I'm getting that, the mother, the father, okay, or this could be a partner that you're dealing with. Maybe they have a little bit of a rocky relationship with a parental figure, okay. But I feel like for you, your sense of worth is really hitting the wheel of fortune here. Like there's some momentum, some movement in the right direction, and I feel like the rhythm is back in session. Okay, you're back in your energy of fire. You're back in your energy of movement. Remember, I'm listening to a fireplace, right? The dancing movements of the fire, right? You're feeling tired, but you're also feeling more energetically like yourself, right? Calibrated. I didn't even plan doing that. That's interesting. All right. When things just happen, right? It just happened that way. So if you felt inadequate, or you felt like not good enough, or like you weren't worthy of a situation, of a title, of whatever this is for you, I feel like, or you don't feel like you had the resources or whatever, you didn't feel like you could let someone in your energy because you need to protect yourself. I feel like you're getting some sort of a release. You're getting some sort of like a strengthening of the energy here. I feel like, you may have some energy where your fears kind of bubble up here with Chiron and Taurus. You may feel a sense of inadequacy, or like your self-worth comes up, scarcity, maybe physical exhaustion. You might feel some of that if you're working through the energy, specifically if you've had a parent that passed away, or your partner has had a parent that passed away where things wasn't the best. Now, they don't have to not necessarily be here. Okay. It could just be the energy flow from parental to, um, their offspring, ancestrally wise, or ancestrally speaking. But it talks also about, to me, inherited burdens. So I feel like if you've inherited some energy from someone, ancestrally that wasn't the highest vibration. I feel like you're baptizing it by the fire, right? Like there's some energy here of like baptism by fire. That's a lot of fire in that card if you look at it. A lot of fire in that card. Okay. Lots of fire. And it's like coming from the inside, right? So again, this could be ancestrally, like I was saying, or it could just be you really owning your light because your light is your worth here. And I feel like for some of you, you're no longer proving self-worth. It's just something that's changed on a biological level or like inside of you is like noticeable to the outside. Okay. It's hard for people to not notice and see this change that's occurring with you because it's from the inside out. I feel like you're recognizing your value, you know, definitely recognizing your value. And you're also recognizing situations where people don't value you. Okay. I think you're changing your physical habits too, because we got the sixth house here. So, like daily routines, like I feel like you're changing your daily habits. I feel like you're really working on like who you contribute to, what you're serving. I feel like some of you are serving love. Okay, you're serving like intuition, instinctual energy here, supporting your body. I'm kind of getting that. Valuing yourself here, releasing your old energy of like scarcity if you felt that. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune here lets me know. I've also got the Wheel of Fortune mirroring on this other deck here. It just slid over. Nothing's by coincidence, you know? But there's luck in your energy and you're moving forward, but you're transmuting something energetically that has been, inherited or pushed towards you or something like that. Yeah, the sixth house is really something. So, I feel like this has to do with your purpose realignment here because the sixth house is above and it's talking about contribution and like service provided here. I feel like you are releasing situations where you don't feel love, releasing past situations that are difficult. You have the Lotus here. Ace of Cups is new, right? It's a new intuitive feeling. It's a new you. It's a new heart, a new expression of love, right? It's like overflowing to my cup runneth over. And it's like you're calling in all of this Ace of Cups energy and you're also expelling Ace of Cups energy, right? Um, you're giving what's excess or what's left over, but your cup is running over. Not saying that you're not tired, okay? Just saying that there's been an energetic upload or shifting in the energy. There's a lot of energy here. Fire, ooh, it can be combustible as well. Um, Fast. There's some sort of like access to some knowledge here, and it has to do with like the ancestral ties, the ancestral energy, like your purpose and like what you are here to do. Again, purpose realignment. I feel like you've released some sort of like energy here. I want to go back here for a second of like ego driven or people who are very ego driven, maybe those kind of people and your energy really reconsidered and severed those relationships. You're seeing the negative energy or the toxicity that you choose to not entertain, and it's allowing you to sort of sever these cords or sever the ties to move forward. It's giving you like this Wheel of Fortune energy. You're like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm too good of a person. I do too much good. I'm not doing it. Done. Check. Move on. Got the bumper sticker and the t-shirt. You know what I mean? Like it's just like this no hesitancy energy. Boom. You don't need external validation because the changes that are happening is happening within you. Okay, it's noticeable. You're not looking for like validation. You're not looking to be like somebody's main ordeal, okay? Or somebody who's like got the mindset, right? Because we've got the Queen of Swords here, the mindset of like they're the main character, right? You want someone who's more focused on group or the betterment of common cause, okay? Anyways, anybody who's sort of ego driven, I feel like, or has ego driven goals and there's not genuine goals to connect out of like a common cause or like a better future, I feel like you will sever that with Mars. Okay. Mars is showing up today. Interesting. Cause a little bit of trouble there if someone is resistant. I feel like your true purpose here is to connect. Okay. It's to connect and it's to sort of be in this energy of peace. I saw a dove land on the deck, right? Peaceful energy. And you're looking for more of community type of energy as you proceed forward here. Community service, I just heard. That's what you want to focus your energy on day to day or your service. And you feel like these people who cannot release the ego actually are doing themselves a disservice because they're not able to lean into their true purpose or realignment of the purpose that they're here, right? Purpose realignment, however you want to word that. So egotistical, prideful people are a little bit of an issue right now because you're looking for someone genuinely coming from a place of love, okay? That's their instinct is to love and to be led by love, led by um the heart. And I feel like some of you might feel this overwhelming like peacefulness come over you. That creator is with you and providing the things that you need day to day. Okay. Giving you those messages, giving you that instinct, giving you what it is that you need. Okay. At the precisely the right time. So I want to talk about this DNA shifting that I was channeling and getting because I feel like that's what this is because Mars is the sacred warrior, right? And I was getting all of these channelings of the sacred warrior protecting the blood, right? And it's interesting because I feel like, and this won't resonate for all of you, there's been like this biological shift. Maybe you've lost a parent or you're somebody you're dealing with has lost a parent or they're just dealing with someone toxic, like a toxic parental. And I feel like if that's the case, there's a recoding of the inherited DNA that's happening right now. You know, there's a lot of like thinking outside of the box here, but I feel like some of you, and this won't resonate with all of you, but some of you guys maybe was protecting yourself against allowance a parent or an energy into your life, and it could have been damaging you because let me just remind you that 50% of your DNA is inherited by your biological parent, okay? So that's a DNA that is within you that you aren't consciously aware of. And if you're pushing back on that energy, it could have been sort of attacking the biological factors of the DNA of that person within you. So just I'm not saying that's going to resonate for everybody. I know that's a far cry that's going to be maybe resonant with a few. Okay. Some of you might have been dealing with sort of like inheriting this energy, right? Because it talks about the two of cups, like 50-50, right? And how your future is going to play out and what needs to be severed, what needs to be worked on, what needs to be released, okay, within this energy. So that's going to resonate if you was like estranged from or had like a toxic relationship with like a biological parent or something like that. Maybe you've been running subconscious war, like I said, it's been difficult, like you didn't realize you were doing that. You were protecting your energy, okay, but it's been going on within your body, and maybe you felt kind of unhealthy or you didn't feel well, and like you're realizing this now. And again, like I said, 50% of your biological blueprint comes from your biological parent, and then the other 50% comes from the other biological parent. And that's really tough to think, but logically, it's the truth. And if you're resistant to that parent, you're resistant to your own DNA chains within you. So I feel like if that's the case for some of you, and you've had like a parent pass away, a biological parent pass away, okay, or a parent or someone who is influential, that relationship was sort of severed for whatever reason. Maybe they detached emotionally or whatever. You detached emotionally because it was like a survival mechanism. Maybe you didn't have any ill will. You just was like, well, it is what it is. But you felt like a detachment within that energy. I just feel like there was a hidden battle, like you were fighting your paternal or sort of like biological parents' DNA within you. So I don't know. Let me know if that resonates for you because that's going to be specific to somebody. I also feel like your nervous system has been on overdrive. What do I mean by that? Like, I feel like you've been unknowingly fighting your own biology. I feel like your nervous system has been on like a high alert for like a long, long time because we've got Mars, which is the soldier type of energy here, waiting to like sever or do what it needs to do in order to protect. Okay, follow through with the order, protect the grid of the DNA. And if you look, like in this card, there's sort of like this DNA chain, which is why I'm sort of getting this. I don't know, it kind of looks like a DNA chain to me. So I'm getting this. It's like I'm also seeing some issues with the right side. I was getting some channelings with a bird showing me right wing, and I got right wing of action, but let me stay focused. I don't want to get off track here. Your nervous system has been on like a high alert, and I feel like energetically you might be bracing against sort of things that like inherited traits or like habits or traumas, right? Like that you didn't really want to inherit. Now, for some of you, if a parent has passed, you are dealing with an abundant flow of energy and you're trying to transmute that energy because you're point zero now. Okay, that won't make sense to you, and for some of you, and if it doesn't, then you just disregard it. Okay, but this is about your future, and it's about like really being able to partner. And I think that this situation has caused some issues with worth. Okay, it's caused some issues with love and with your light and how you contribute and what causes you to sort of push back on something. And this is not something that you consciously was aware that you were doing, but some of you was fighting yourself inside. Um Inadvertently, like not knowing. So if that does resonate, I hope that helps you so that you can feel better, you can, stop feeling so exhausted and bad. But some of you guys, I feel like, are exhausted because you're just dealing with this abundance of energy here. Some of this isn't even yours. It doesn't belong to you, you know? So I feel like, you know, there's some situations here where you're really dealing with some things that are happening to you that you cannot see. All right. I don't know why, but with Mars, I'm getting like this severing of like things within your DNA, like chemical type of energies, like dopamine dropping or high cortisol levels. So you're feeling a flux in your hormonal energies. Even if this didn't just happen, it's like something is downloaded or something's realigning or repurposing or I feel like some of you have had some inherited, what do I want to call it? Because I don't even know what to call it. Like Mars is the circle with the line, like inherited caps that have been sort of severed, erased. That's what's made me think some of you lost a biological parent. You've become hypervigilant. You've had, I don't know if this is a thing, but like ancestral anxiety, right? You felt something within you, but you weren't really sure what was happening to your body, happening to you, happening to your chemicals, happening to your biology. Just knew something was wrong. And the whole time you was sort of in war within. These caps, I heard telephone telomeres detaching from stress. Thank you for your patience as I move through the energy. I'm letting it flow more. Focusing on doing it your way, right? Energetically speaking. Not so much the way that the inherited energy is trying to flow the flow of energy. I feel like there's a biological war within you that has ended, okay? Or it is ending. And I feel like your cells are going through a repair state, okay? And that's why you're so tired with Mars here. It's actions like you're healing things inside of you that you don't realize. And so if you're feeling like bone deep exhaustion or sort of like a mental fog right now, that's what it is. I feel like your body's like physically remodeling. Some of you might change the way you look. Maybe you'll feel a lot better once this happens here, but there's like a physical remodeling in the way that your cells express. And that might be this huge change that I'm feeling on the inside that's sort of noticeable externally. I also feel like your nervous system is resetting and your immune system is resetting. I feel like it's sort of dropping down this armor, right? Because it's feeling like this flow of energy or this energy reset. I feel like your cortisol levels are dropping for some of you. Basically, you're shifting from a survival mode, all right, or surviving that sort of energy inheritance because you're transmuting it to being sovereign in your own energy, right? That's why this fire is so huge, right? It's like you know how to transmute the energy or release what doesn't belong to you. So I feel like you're recoding your destiny here, your future, your aspirations as this is happening. It's like a synergy in the energy. I feel like you're looking for people to collaborate in the future here. It's interesting because I don't see you slowing down. So you're looking for a collaboration in the future here, but it's like you know that that future is unattainable when someone is physically exhausted, when someone is trapped in an inner war and survival mode, right? So you have this frequency within you where you can detect other people who has overcome this obstacle, right? It's a critical point. I feel like you will see that your body will heal drastically. Your self-worth also as well will heal drastically. And there's like this shedding of people who are very much an ego. You'll be able to tell by how they speak and how their energy is. You'll just be able to tell. It's like this intuitive knowing, right? Those are the people that are contributing to the right cause. Those are the people that I need to partner with in the future. And if you're around the right people, things happen quicker, right? Because we have, the wheel of fortune here. And there's this energy climactically building you up to authentic purpose. All right. So when you have someone around you that's low vibrational, energetically, specifically a parent, don't know why that's coming up. It's not going to resonate for all of you, but insert here what you feel like it is. But there's this energetic load transfer, to the child. And you are the bin that receives that. Okay. For that lineage now. And I think some of you are feeling that. It's a lot. So I feel like some of you are transmuting the energy to prevent sort of like this heavy inherited energy. You don't want to feel the physical fatigue of it, but I feel like you will be tired as you're transmuting this energy for sure. You don't want it to manifest within you and your expression of self, okay? Authentic self isn't not in alignment with this person's energy. And I feel like you're transmuting that energy. So moving from a survival blueprint, okay, what does that mean? Some of you guys might have like issues with energy in your root chakra, so you might have lower back pain. There might be some issues with back pain, okay? Um, hips, making you feel like you need to work harder for that worth, right? That's going to be for some of you. And some of you, it's an emotional blueprint. I feel like a lot of you are feeling that emotional blueprint, but I'm not saying that the solar plexus and the root chakra isn't present here. So I don't know which one is you, so you will know. But this sort of emotional blueprint is like if that person carried like bitterness, addiction, those type of energies, they settle into the solar plexus, right? So brain fog, digestive issues. So if you've noticed you've had some digestive issues, you're receiving energy from a parent here that you need to transmute. Or if you're having like real bad lower back pain, of course you want to go get checked out by your doctor, but I'm just saying, like, if you are having like you're waking up randomly like, oh God, like my back is killing me no matter what you do, it's just like feels like that stuck kundalini energy, then you know that there's an issue there. Okay. You know that you're trying to figure out what energy needs transmuted. Okay. Excuse me. One moment, please. For some of you, it's just accepting the finality of a situation. And for some of you, I'm sorry to say this, but it's justice because you're able to actually like change the way the energy is flowing to you, transmute what's bad, release that. I have Libra here, so it's partnerships. You just don't think about those kind of connections, right? Like it's not something that you're actively thinking of. It's not. Especially if you've had a troubled relationship or you're dealing with a partner who's having some troubled relationships with their biological parents, okay? I feel like grounding and walking barefooted on the earth will help you a lot, right? It'll help with that grounding energy. I feel like, self-affirmation, but just you're transmuting that energy when you're sleeping. So you might wake up and not feel fully rested and things like that. So, try to get yourself in water, ground your energy, sound bowls, meditation, prayer, rest. If you're sleepy, rest. Like give your body what it needs because it's fighting right now to transmute energy. The right side, I feel like is significant for some of you. Um, it's weird. I'm getting like the right wing of action. So if that resonates for you, let me know. For some of you, I want you to say this. I acknowledge that 50% of the physical blueprint I received is from you. I accept the biological life, but I reject the spiritual and emotional debt. What is yours stays with you. What is mine is purified. Right? This statement to yourself here, and say, I command my cells to transmute the frequencies of your trauma. And that is what sets you up energetically for this Wheel of Fortune energy. It puts you in the right direction here. I feel like you will start to feel your inner strength come back, and you'll feel a newness come over you. And a lot of you are going to get noticed, right? Because this energy may have been blocking you or causing some issues with accomplishment and achievement here. I don't know. Some of you might have a 10th house Taurus, right? But I feel like you just emit in power, right? I feel like the end is the beginning, right? And that is what I'm saying. And for some of you, you feel like a cord has been cut, so that you're able to move forward. I'm getting the hit to tell you B12, vitamin C, folate to help with DNA repair. Okay, so hopefully you got something from that. Let me see here. Fire signs. I'm going to break this down. Earth signs. Whoops, sorry. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to do earth signs. Rest when you can and really figure out like who you are. I feel like there's going to be a direct impact on your identity here. You're feeling tired too. Rest when you can. Really feel that for you. Let go of the old ways. Take a rest period when necessary. I feel like you are going to stop linking self-worth to productivity as well if you're an earth sign. I think that you've just gained some wisdom. The number 6 could be pertinent to you, and I feel like you've realized that you are a gift, okay? Fire signs. Ten of Cups, Three of Cups. This one almost came out, Nine of Cups, but you're willing to walk on your own if necessary. Two ones in reverse. You've made a decision to walk in happiness. Okay. I feel like it's like there's a shedding, like I said, of like who you truly are. So authentic self, authentic identity. Right. And I feel like you might get a message or something about someone who's having bad health. Okay. Feel like specifically that's for Leo rising. Um, I'm not trying to fear monger or like if it might not resonate for you. Maybe it's about your health and how you're able to change that. Maybe you're getting this message and it's giving you the judgment to realize that you was fighting yourself on the inside, not meaning to. But I feel like it's a time for shedding so that your true self can emerge, okay? And I feel like you're definitely headed in great fortune here, fire signs. All right, air signs. We got the Sun and the Two of Swords. Okay, Two of Pentacles. So you're making some decisions here. I feel like you're deciding what to walk away from, what makes you happy here. I feel like there's some sort of like air energy that's being activated. You're really looking at expectation here. Some of you are looking at some sort of community thing, right? And there's some sort of high expectation when it comes to sort of community things. But I feel like you're going to find yourself around people that you can celebrate and the pathway is clear. Remember what I told you, if you're around the right people, things just expand for you drastically. Okay. So just remember that. I feel like you are stepping into sort of like this leadership role, air signs. But I feel like there's a need to ground yourself, right? So that you're not losing track of the actual pathway. Um, Especially if you're dealing with all of this and you're getting this illumination. This is a lot to deal with, you know what I mean? Water signs. Look at that. 2 of Cups with the Queen of Cups. Okay, so I feel like there's deep emotional, and then of course we've got that Aries energy. I feel like there's deep emotional healing here that's going on, maybe ancestral clearing, right? Scorpio moons or, water energy here. So deep emotional and ancestral clearing. And I feel like Chiron is coming through in this energy. And what it's saying is it's it's trying to address old family issues and cut some sort of energetic ties, right? And I think that it brings you this energy of realizing how honorable you really are, right? That maybe it's this message, but how honorable you really are. And it brings in this sudden wealth of who you are, your worth. Okay. And I I feel like that is exactly what is necessary and what's needed. So I hope you got something from this. Please let me know what you think of the audio and video. I've made some changes, and I would love your feedback. Let me know if you're dealing with the loss of a parent down in the comment section below, and if you maybe this makes sense to you about your fighting your that 50% of that DNA, or if a partner of yours is going through this ordeal. Hopefully this brings you some hope while you're exhausted, like bone deep tired. Just know that as you proceed forward, um, things are going to get easier, right? This gives you a chance to clear out this old energy. Okay. So I love you guys. And until next time, stay in your Tachyon mind. Peace.